The Mysterious Vanishing of a Bride-to-Be, Secrets Revealed. It was a quiet autumn evening in a small coastal town when the unthinkable happened. Karen Prescott, just weeks away from her wedding day, vanished into thin air. The only sign of her, a single scuffed shoe, was discovered near the edge of a dense state park. Karen, 28 years old and radiating the kind of happiness that made others envious, seemed to have everything: a loving fiancé, a supportive family, and big plans for the future. But now she was gone, leaving behind more questions than answers. The town rallied to find her, their sweeping searches moving through woods, rivers, and abandoned structures, but Karen was nowhere to be found. As days turned into weeks, her picture, bright eyes and a warm smile, plastered storefronts and local news broadcasts. But what seemed at first like a tragic disappearance slowly began to unravel into something far darker. Was Karen's perfect life really as idyllic as it seemed? And what secrets were buried in the shadows of her world? Karen's disappearance began as any normal day would. She had breakfast with her fiancé, gave plans for the upcoming wedding a final review, and even called a close friend to update her on some minor details about the event. Friends later described her mood that day as cheerful, though distracted. But later that evening, she failed to return home. Her fiancé, Eric Larson, called her phone multiple times, but it went straight to voicemail. His worry intensified when Karen neither came home nor contacted him the following morning. It wasn't like her. She was dependable, organized, and focused. Never the type to just take off without notice. When the police got involved, things went from unusual to deeply unsettling. Her abandoned shoe found near the entrance of Carter State Park sent a collective shiver through the tight-knit community. Why was she there? And what or who led her into those woods? What began as a search and rescue mission soon turned into an investigation. It didn't take long for cracks in Karen's seemingly perfect world to appear. Investigators recovered her phone 2 miles from where her shoe was found. What they uncovered painted a complicated and chilling picture, a stark contrast to the life Karen presented to the world. Her text history revealed a side of her relationship that no one expected. Karen and Eric were fighting, frequently. The messages were increasingly heated, ranging from desperate pleas to threats. But there was one text in particular that caught investigators' attention. Sent just 2 days before her disappearance, it read, "You don't know what I'm capable of." Although the message was never confirmed to be from Eric, suspicions immediately hung over him. Eric, while devastated and publicly cooperative, became a person of interest. What was meant to be unconditional support and love now felt like a closed curtain hiding something sinister. And yet, as police questioned him further, the inconsistencies in his story grew. Just when Eric's involvement seemed to dominate the conversation, another shocking turn in the case emerged. During a secondary search of Karen's room, police uncovered a hidden journal buried in a small compartment beneath her floorboards. It wasn't just a diary full of wedding plans or mundane day-to-day musings. It was an emotional vault, pulsating with fear. Karen had written about sleepless nights, paranoia, and an unnamed person she felt she couldn't trust. The entries detailed suspicious glances, threatening behavior, and one repeated phrase, "I feel like I'm being watched." The handwriting grew erratic over time, exposing her increasing distress. The closeness of her wedding day, instead of filling her with joy, seemed to bring unbearable tension and fear. Who did Karen think she couldn't trust? Her fiancé? A friend? Or someone else altogether? It became clear that Karen had been navigating a silent battle in the months leading to her disappearance, one she never shared openly. But this wasn't all authorities would discover. As they dug deeper into her life, another chilling thread began to unravel, linking Karen to a second unsolved mystery in the town's dark, buried history. Years earlier, a woman named Jessica Klein, who had worked alongside Karen at a local boutique, vanished under similarly strange circumstances. Jessica, much like Karen, was loved by acquaintances, quick to smile, and known for dependable work ethic. She disappeared after leaving her shift late one evening. Jessica's case went cold, with no major suspects and no remains ever found. When police realized both women had mutual social connections, including a shared acquaintance, they began investigating whether these incidents were more than tragic coincidences. Karen, according to her journal, had been in contact with someone linked to Jessica's disappearance just weeks before her own. Was Karen digging into Jessica's case? Did she come across something she wasn't supposed to see? Or was someone making sure she didn't unearth the full truth? As the town whispered about these new revelations, Eric's behavior began to raise increasing suspicions. Friends who had previously vouched for him started to express doubts. They recounted moments where Eric displayed possessiveness over Karen, quick tempers at social events, and veiled comments about those who would interfere with their relationship. One close friend noted Karen had confided in her just days before she vanished, admitting for the first time that she wasn't sure about the wedding. Eric's alibi also began to crumble under scrutiny. Phone records failed to substantiate his claim that he spent the evening of Karen's disappearance at home. Was his grief genuine, or was it an act to hide his own involvement? In the end, every revelation led to more questions. Did Karen simply get cold feet and attempt to stage her own disappearance? The mysterious text message, "You don't know what I'm capable of," left room for interpretation. Was it a threat she received or a warning she herself issued? If Karen stumbled upon answers about Jessica's disappearance, who would have wanted her silence preserved permanently? Or perhaps Karen had been preoccupied by something far darker than just wedding jitters. Her diary's repeated references to being watched suggest she may have been under surveillance by someone with the intent to harm her. Then there was the question of the shared acquaintance tied to both Karen and Jessica. Could this person hold the key to unraveling the truth? The case of Karen Prescott lingers like a shadow, haunting those who come across her smiling photographs and the cold trails of the investigation. For now, her disappearance remains a chilling enigma, woven with unsettling secrets and unanswered questions. True crime stories like Karen's remind us of the fragile lives we live and the darkness that can loom, often too close for comfort. Karen and Jessica's stories are not merely tales of loss, but of the mysteries that can lurk beneath the surface of seemingly perfect lives. Will justice ever be served? Will Karen's family, her friends, and this small coastal town find closure? Or will this case serve as another haunting reminder of life's most chilling uncertainties? For now, the truth remains locked away, waiting to be found. Until we uncover it, we can only listen to the echoes Karen left behind and wonder.